I'm head of the branch for multi-omics oncology and immunotherapy at TCABS-E. So my journey at TCABS-E started with internship in life sciences program. So basically, I'm a graduate of BTech Biotechnology at Beacon University. So in my third year of BTech, I've got to know about the life sciences internship program at TCABS-E, and then based on the once after meeting Dr. Ravi Kiran, I've joined into the internship, and I've gone and I was trained in various fields of various branches of science, as in molecular biology, computational biology, bioinformatics, ST stage, HPLC, cell culture, etc. So it was a great experience with respect to the internship program, because I was aiming to become a researcher and a scientist from the beginning of my BTech. So and then it was mandatory for a BTech biotech student to finish an internship and also to complete projects in fourth year. So in the end of second year and third years, we usually do the internships, and I haven't done any of my internships in the second year ending because of various reasons. And also, so I planned for a internship, for doing an internship in the third year. I mean, during the summer time, we get a space, right? So that is when I planned to finish my internship program. So like everybody know about the pandemic situation and the disturbance that is caused by coronavirus. So it was announced to be a lockdown, and then I was very confused, and I'm not really aware of what I wanted to do and how to approach things. So in the month of April or May, April, we started our online internship classes, and we finished it in the month of June, early June, first week of June something. And then once after the lockdown is cleared, we have come for the the lab training, the wet lab training. And then I finished my internship program at TCABS-E, and then during the process of my internship, we were also selected as executive committee members, and then we have participated in various meetings and other discussions with respect to the research and the works. So at that point of time, I discussed my an idea with Dr. Ravi Kiran about the failure of cancer immunotherapy in most of the patients, in some of the patients. So that is when we actually started discussing about my project, and then we have brought it to a good shape. And then I have published a couple of papers, and also I'm actually happy to start the interaction with him, and I'm glad that I spoke to him about all the programs, all the ideas that I have. And then I finished my internship training successfully in life sciences program, and then we started drug discovery internship during the lockdown, the second lockdown. And then we have that those are the online classes, and that is still continuing. And then once after me finishing up things about discussing our projects, I have published a paper, it is a strategic communication of the idea that I had on the multi-omics initiative for cancer immunotherapy. So basically we will be doing about genomics, epigenomics, transcriptomics, metabolomics and proteomics. So it is a complete view of various sections of cancer immunotherapy failure in a patient. And then I've successfully published it with the help of Dr. Ravi Kiran in TCABS-E. So once after me being a committee member, the executive board member, I have again then promoted as a program manager for multi-omics cancer immunotherapy. We were offered a couple of tasks to finish, and then I have it was a difficult task, and I learned that research needs a lot of experience and patience. And also, it is not a very tough thing, but we have to learn every day, and we have to be very cautious about what we are doing. So it is a different journey for me, and it is completely new for me. So, but with the help of Dr. Ravi Kiran, it was all fine so far. So being a program manager is like a very good experience, and I felt nice because at this point of time that was a very huge offer that I have got. So after finishing that, and then I've started registered for another drug discovery internship program at TCABS-E, and then I've continued it up to some extent during the those were basically the online classes during the time of the second lockdown announced due to COVID. And then I was still continuing right now. And then after my internship program, I have participated in the BLSC program where Dr. Ravi Kiran have actually announced for the Juniorette assistant professors recruitment. And then he also made sure that the internship students can also participate. So listening to that news, actually I have also registered for that. And then basically I've gone through process of recruitment, the process of recruitment. And then after a final presentation in the month of October of 2021 during the BLSC program, I've got selected as Juniorette assistant professor and then promoted as head of the branch, and all in the Department of Intramural Research Core. So, and then actually during the process of my internship, etc., and other internship programs and me managing lab and other experiments in the in the laboratory, I've published a few papers. After my first publication about multi-omics initiative of cancer immunotherapy, I have gone through a paper for my BLSC presentations. So there I have come across a SIDCOS plot, a plot named SIDCOS plot, and I was, actually, I was excited to know what SIDCOS plot is all about, and I browsed a few stuff about it. And then I got to know that SIDCOS plot is drawn to get, to plot the data about the genomic data and the huge data that we get out of scientific research. And I am actually happy to know that that is actually useful for my project, the multi-omics project that I do. And then so I have published another commentary about the paper that I have gone through about the SIDCOS plot. And then we have started plotting more plots. It was hand-drawn because SIDCOS plot actually requires a lot of programming. And then we have, during this process, we have started planning hand-drawn plots, the circular plots for various researches. So then I was also actually participating in TALK program 2020, so which actually was showing different sets of it, like different analysis paths. So we have got some data about analyzing the viral fitness of the SARS-CoV-2 virus based on the analysis of spike protein of the virus, the coronavirus. And then I've plotted SIDCOS plot according to the data, the minimal data that I have got. And then we have published it in TCABS-E as well. So it was a wonderful journey, as in like in the process, in the way of scientific experience and also the personal experience, and also the atmosphere at TCABS-E is very friendly and it is different from the outside world that I have seen. So basically I have enjoyed so much and in TCABS-E, so I expect a lot of people also can come in, get trained, and if a person is seriously interested in science and research, definitely I would suggest TCABS-E, and TCABS-E is the best place that I know. Thank you.
I am Madhuri Viswapagara, Juniorette faculty member at TCABS-E and also head of branch for synthetic biology branch at TCABS-E. So, my journey at TCABS-E started in the year 2020, that is before the national lockdown. That is the first time I met Dr. Ravi sir. And then I discussed all the questions and doubts I have about practical training with respect to life sciences. That is a question for all the life sciences students which I have met. And when he clarified about what practical training is all about at TCABS-E, that is when I joined in TCABS-E. And since it was national lockdown, then we had online classes. And after the online classes, in the month of October, we started our offline classes. That is the real main practical training. So, when practical training at TCABS-E started in the month of November in 2020, that is when I understood what actual practical training is like. And we got hands-on training on several recombinant DNA technology techniques and then on protein production technology techniques. So we got complete hands-on training on restriction digestion, ligation, transformation, PCR, gel electrophoresis, STS page, and then we also got to know and we got the real practical training on bioinformatics, computational biology, etc. So that is when we understood what doing the experiments is like. We've had the theoretical knowledge about all these experiments, but we never had the chance to perform them live. That is to do them practically and understand what it is exactly like. But when we performed all these experiments in TCABS-E, that is when we exactly understood what the practical training will be like, and our interest towards research and practical training grew. And then we started to search about different projects, reading different research articles, and trying to know what science is more about. And that is when I have come across plastic biodegrading bacteria, a research article about them, that a plastic biodegrading bacteria was found in a plastic recycling unit at Japan by some researchers, and that this bacteria has the capability to produce an enzyme called PETase, which has the potential to biodegrade PET plastics, and that is when my project started. And from then I worked seriously on that, and then I got introduced to the synthetic biology. Until then I never knew what synthetic biology was, and then I started to explore more about what synthetic biology is, and that field really fascinated me because you're designing a complete new organism, you're building a genome of the organism using genetic circuits, logic gates, etc. So that is when I had a chance in ABFR 2020 to present a poster on my project, and I presented a poster on the same plastic biodegradation using synthetic bacteria. And this project, this poster which I presented at ABFR 2020, I was one of the winners in that poster presentation, and I got a chance for a free internship. And after we completed our life sciences internship in the month of February, I chose drug discovery internship at TCABS-E. So in the month of January, since I was working on synthetic biology by then, that is when Ravi sir included me in an NCI grant, that is a US grant. So this was about synthetic biology with respect to cancer, and for cancer therapeutics, for cancer diagnosis, etc. So a project was designed, and on that grant I was a part of it as one of the students, and Ravi sir was the PI for that. So this application for an NCI grant, that was a very big thing for me then, and that was my first grant application ever. And after the NCI grant, I got more enthusiastic in working for this project, and then I started to take this even more serious. And then our drug discovery classes started online because there was a brief period of national lockdown again then. And after this, again, we had this Juniorette faculty recruitment announced. So by that time, we were already announced as program managers for our respective projects. And when we had this Juniorette faculty recruitment announcement, we were interested, and all those students who got above 80% in their internship were directly eligible for the final round of presentations, because we have gone through the complete training at TCABS-E. So, and it was open national wide, and more than hundreds of participants have participated in that. And out of all of them, only one person has got above 80%, but that one person denied the chance because they need to come here and do a live presentation at TCABS-E. And the judges were, along with Ravikaran sir, there were several other researchers from different countries like Canada, Japan, etc. So then we presented our projects. So I presented my project at VLSE 2021. So at the end of VLSE, the finalized Juniorette faculty were announced, and from then our Juniorette faculty work has started. And as Juniorette faculty members, we are training students also in different techniques, like in the field of recombinant DNA technology, which includes the techniques of PCR, agrocell electrophoresis, and then restriction, digestion, ligation, and also STS page, and that is with respect to wet lab. And when it comes to computational, we'll train them on bioinformatics and computational biology. So after VLSE 2021, and after we started our work at TCABS-E as Juniorette faculty, I also participated in Biochemica 2K21, that is on behalf of TCABS-E at Andhra University. This is organized by the Department of Biochemistry, and there I presented my project as a poster. So that is plastic biodegradation using synthetic bacteria. And even there, this poster has secured the first place. So that was one of my achievements through TCABS-E. That was a happy moment for me. And then after that, I've even applied for a PRISM grant for the same project for plastic biodegradation using synthetic bacteria. We've applied for the phase 1 of the PRISM grant, and we are waiting for that. So once the wet lab work starts for this project, I hope this is gonna change a lot, because TCABS-E has put in a lot of effort along with me. Ravi sir has been throughout the project, has been guiding me. So ABFR 2021, like how ABFR 2020 has been one of the milestones for me for to get started with my project in a big level. The same way ABFR 2021 can be your chance. So that can give you an opportunity for all the students, for all the science and research enthusiasts. So grab your opportunity. We have oral presentations, poster presentations, and also workshops being conducted. So that can be a very good opportunity for everyone who wants to get the real taste of what is research and practical training. So at TCABS-E, my publications, my first publication is based on Talk 2020. So that is the Take Online Computational Challenge 2020, which started during the first national lockdown. And then we published a paper based on that, based on the mutational analysis of the spike protein. And then applications of machine learning in protein translation. That was the second paper along with another student. And then I also published a paper which is based on my project, that is designing genetic circuits for the building and designing of synthetic bacteria for plastic biodegradation. That was another project. That was another published paper with respect to my project. And then my recent publications within the last 2 months includes the one based on RNA stability analysis for the spike mutation and variants. So those were, like you see, you can see how much exposure and training and experience we get at TCABS-E with respect to practical training and all, and you just don't come here and get yourself trained on the different practical techniques, but you can get an exposure and an experience like what a real research feels like. So whoever is really interested into science and whoever really wants to know what practical training is really like, so I would definitely recommend you to TCABS-E, so that you know that is where you can actually feel the start of science, exploring science and all. So let's meet at area for 2021. So that is going to be a very good opportunity for whoever is interested in science and who is serious in science. Thank you.
Hey, hi, this is Missy. But before going into saying about what TCABS-E is, I just want to mention about who I am. I was not a smart kid in my childhood. You know, my studies I used to be an average or below average for that point. But I was an enthusiastic kid and I always tried to learn and experiment on things and find out new things. But after a few years, I reached a point where I was not interested in studies at all. I felt very depressed and I had a question in my mind whether if I can move forward or not. But science was the only thing that always motivated me and I had a hope in that subject. So I thought of getting into the research field, and that's where I developed my passion towards getting into research and working on projects and all. And that's the reason I opted for BPC. And you all know how intermediate studies goes, so everything I learned is just by marking up. But at that age, I was not that mature to realize that I was in a wrong way of learning. But after getting into the BSc first year, I realized that this is not going to work. So I thought I missed my natural way of learning and experimenting things. Of course, I was studying things, I was going for examinations, and I was being taught, but I was not able to apply what I am learning. So what I think is, if you don't know how to apply what you have studied, or what knowledge you have, then I think learning is a useless process. So I thought, so I just moved out of my comfort zone and I started looking out for the internships and places where I can get that practical knowledge, the taste of the practical knowledge. I applied for some internships in some well-named institutions. In some internships that doesn't have good faculty, so I felt very depressed because I moved a step forward to learn, but there were no one encouraging me at that time. So I thought maybe I can't do this in the BSc. I can, this BSc goes as intermediate as well. I thought like that. I thought of doing my further studies and doing these internships in MSc and all. But that's the point when I came to know about TCABS-E, and when I met the founder of the TCABS-E, Dr. Ravikiran sir, I asked him how TCABS-E can help me, and I explained him about my passion, and I said him that this was my goal and this was what I have traveled through, and he said, don't worry, I'll guide you. So I, at that point I felt like, okay, this was my place. I thought of getting into that immediately because the way he explained the things and the way he said he'll guide me, I felt pretty much confident about that and comfortable about that. So it's a turning point in my life. It's a jackpot actually. So my internship started in the month of June. Online classes went pretty much well, and they started from basics and starting from the fundamentals. So I felt very happy for that because most people they go to the high level they go to the details instead of starting from the basics. So I see people coming from the different backgrounds, like for example from statistics and from biotechnology, botany, zoology, all gathering at a place, and all are learning equally, and the way they teach is absolutely fantastic. And I was actually inspired and motivated by their team, the way they are training us. And after this span of time that I spent with the TCABS-E, the way I think towards a point changed. So I started thinking scientifically, finding out the reasons why they exist or why not they exist. So that's how I developed my idea to work in the field of stem cells, and I discussed that with the Ravikiran sir, and he said that's a good idea and we can make that into a project. And TCABS-E helped me to design a new approach to develop that into a project, and I'm working on that right now. And in fact, I'm also now moving into the synthetic biology field, and I was very much interested in neurosciences as well. So I'm waiting for the opportunity as well, and I believe that TCABS-E can provide that with me. I introduced this course and this internship program about TCABS-E to my friends, and now each one of them are working on the projects, and I'm very happy for that. The mentors are training everyone here very well, I'm learning many things. Like I learned about cell culture in the intermediate itself, but I don't know how to apply that, how to experiment on that. But here I learned many things. For say example, computational biology, bioinformatics, cell culture, many things. I just can't describe that in a few sentences. I thank TCABS-E for that. And the thing I want to mention about is that the world is full of opportunities to the people who wants to learn and explore, and the people who are like me looking out for the opportunities. And if you want to enter into the research field, TCABS-E is the right place. Even if the world is full of opportunities, what successful people do is they pick the right one, and they pick the place where they can fit the best way. So I'm glad that I got that opportunity, and I made the choice to get into the TCABS-E. And if I look back from now, I'm not getting the feeling that I was missing the practical knowledge, but I'm feeling very happy that I was in a right position right now to move into the research field and all. I was very satisfied with my projects and the work I'm doing here. Please make the right choice in your life if you want to get into the research field, or if you have some ideas, or if you want to solve some problems which are existing in the society. TCABS-E can guide you all through the process. So don't worry about your future if you want to get into the research. TCABS-E can support you. TCABS-E is for you. TCABS-E is for me. TCABS-E is for you. TCABS-E is for all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Juniorette Assistant Professor, Head of Multi-Omics Infectious Diseases Branch and Department of Intramural Research Core at TCABS-E, Visakhapatnam. Today I'm here to share my journey at TCABS-E. So I met Dr. Ravikiran sir when I was at my final year in graduation, and after meeting him I got to know that he is interested in doing research and projects by taking students of various groups. And when I talked to him, he told me that we need to know at least a few techniques for us to improve ourselves in practical skills, and main techniques are animal cell culture, protein extraction, purification and so on. But what happened for us is, due to our graduation at normal colleges, we are not exposed to that level of practical skills, and in order to maintain that research career, and in order to get a knowledge and practical exposure, we must definitely do our internship or project in our final year. So I decided to do my internship or my project at TCABS-E when I met Dr. Ravikiran sir. And after starting off my internship at TCABS-E, I was fascinated because Dr. Ravikiran sir, who was a scientist in Washington DC, he actually actually wanted to bring those international standards to Visakhapatnam in his lab and teach students and encourage students to develop the international standards of research in Visakhapatnam, which is definitely fascinating and encouraging for students like us. And after going through the internship process, I also wanted to work with Dr. Abhikiran sir on my project, and we also had various sessions, that is brainstorming sessions, interactive sessions, and we also had this thing called journal club, which happens every week in order to discuss various articles and various topics of research that is currently going on. And we also used to discuss various problems that we are having in our society with respect to environment and also with respect to health, in order to bring a solution or conclude these kind of problems that would definitely harm our future generations. So all these things are a part of TCABS-E when you take internship or project, when you interact with Abhikiran sir. So not only you get the knowledge of techniques or syllabus, you also get knowledge of various things like journal club and projects, publications, different events where you need to present, and you also get to learn scientific communication, what is scientific research, and what is happening all around the world. You would definitely know about this when you work with Dr. Abhikiran sir under his guidance. That I appreciate him for bringing all those international standards and developing students equal to the other students that are working abroad or that are working in various universities and that are leading competitors in the society right now. From being a normal internship student to being a Juniorette assistant professor was an amazing journey, because I've been through various things, like when you are going to present or discuss any topic of your interest or your ideas, that would be rejected or it might be accepted, but then when it is rejected, you need to come back, sit, think, and then create another route or another map. In order to design the project, you need to add few points in order to get a clear picture of what you want to actually do. And this is what happened when I was being a program manager, in order to design my project, develop my project, and in order to get a clear picture of it. And then we also have various things like TOM. These are the online challenge programs for us to encourage students to take part in it, to grasp knowledge from it. And also we have various events and conferences that have been organized in TCABS-E, where students can give their oral presentations or poster presentations. And whenever they give these presentations, it definitely builds a confidence in them. It definitely helps them to communicate easily with audience or with any professors, etc., and present before them. And they can also discuss their ideas with them in these particular oral presentations. This would definitely help them encourage, and we would definitely know which student is passionate on what topic, and then how would they develop their career in order to pursue research or become entrepreneurs in their future. And we would definitely encourage such students. And this is all what happens in TCABS-E in brief. And I'm really happy that TCABS-E is now incubating at Andhra University. This is a really great step for us to expand and explore various things in the field of research and encourage students in order to take part in these ongoing projects at TCABS-E, for them to give a brisk or knowledge or a glimpse of what is happening in the current research. And we would also help them design their own projects, come up with their own ideas, and train them on what all things they want, and train them if they want to do any certification or internship programs at TCABS-E. And this would definitely help them to pursue a researcher career or an entrepreneurship career if they want to do their PhD projects, etc. So these are the things that are happening at TCABS-E. This would definitely bring students, achieve their future goals. And I would definitely thank Dr. Abhikiran sir, who is our mentor, because he is maintaining these international standards at the lab, and he is definitely encouraging students in order to take each and every opportunity which is being provided by him. And then I want to conclude by saying that research is what I'm doing when I don't know what to do, because you need to find solutions for these simple problems that come up to your mind, or that are definitely creating a chaos or problem in the society. And when you trust this process of developing a project, or when you trust this process of developing your idea or implementing your idea, then it would definitely bring out the result which you have expected or which you did not expect. And it would be a very good result. Unexpected results. You get unexpected results, and then what you find today changes what you become tomorrow. thank you for providing this opportunity to share my journey. I thank Dr. Abhikaran sir for being a mentor and guide for us in this journey. Thanks a lot.